Hey everyone, this is Blackbinder, and welcome back to the Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire.
Too much salt in the air.
Last time we left off, we were heading into the Wild Mare at the Queen's Birth in Neketaka. We don't really have a goal in mind. I'm just walking around getting quests from people. We ran into Pallegina last time, and that's kind of where I want to steer my course, but I really don't know where to find her again, so...
Do you enjoy a coin, my friend? Can you lift a sword?
Let's just talk to people. Aboko.
Ado, my friend. I knew our paths would cross eventually.
Do I know him? A Valiant shouts over the din of the Wild Mare to get your attention, turning a great many heads to study your exchange. He takes a hearty swig of his tankard. Do I know you?
Not yet, but I know that we will be fast friends. Tell me, you are the one who sails that fine ship, Ak? Terrorize the docks with spirits, Ak?
Leaning in close, he sips from the tankard and loudly sucks moisture from his upper lip. Trisao, captain of the Defiant, at your service.
I am Aboko, and I am positioned to offer... I have opportunities for...
He clumsily unfolds a sheaf of parchment. The tankard slips in his grasp and spills ale down the front of his trousers. He gawks down at himself in horror.
1,000 times I practiced my speech. Mera. Never did it go this poorly.
Just tell me what you want. Give him an ale. Here, you need this more than I do.
Agrasima. Do you know what my problem is, amigo?
He accepts the tankard and drinks deeply.
I am supposed to be in the business of giving bounties, but I know no one who hunts them.
He stamps his feet, kicking up a spray of spilled ale.
No one will unfurl their sail for my humble payments. But I must start from the bottom and work my way to the top, Ak?
You'll get there someday.
Agrasima, my friend. If you are ever lacking in drinking money, you know where to look.
You seem down on your luck.
It is true that I have stumbled in my career path.
Aboko clears his throat.
Now that I have such an accomplished hunter, I can stand in the long shadow of your success.
He claps you on the shoulder.
It's not all bad, but the momentum of meeting new clients over drinks and in such enchanting company, it drains the stamina, my friend.
What bounties do you have available?
You will take the job? You will take the job.
He grips you by the shoulders and smiles, tears springing to the corners of his eyes.
Agrasima. Something special for my first hunter, then.
He drains the tankard and tucks it under his arm to retrieve his sheaf of notes.
I will start you on Mariel, the mad animancer.
Good.
She tortures her victims with unspeakable treatments before casting what's left to Berath's will.
We already killed Mariel the Mad, remember?
My contact saw her leaving Port Maje and heading west of Maje Island.
Give Mariel's head. Thank God we just decided to keep her head for some reason. She joins the goddess of death in the beyond.
My first bounty to pay off.
Nice, 1,400 gold.
For us both.
Or copper. And then 2,700 experience.
Maybe it's not much, but as I make more deals, more pyres will be available, Ak?
What bounties do you have available?
I finally managed to land the rights to a bounty of value. You may not like it. There is a thirsty drake who roosts near an oasis northeast of Maje Island. An important site for refilling canteens.
That might be the Pakua guy that we killed already.
The local tribes call him Purakeo.
Or Purakeo.
A sea dragon of legend. Even so, they have no love for this water thief.
Well, you're in luck, my friend. Give Purakua's head. Here's your thirsty drake.
To think that such a magnificent creature could also be a water-hoarding pest. Dragons are a complicated bunch.
He was not a dragon, he was just a drake. He hefts the head and looks deeply into its eyes before passing you payment. 1,500 copper and 2,865 experience.
You will let me know if you are interested in more work, Ak?
What bounties do you have available?
A marauder gang boss called Nomu.
We don't know
custody,
Nomu.
Along with the rest of his plunder buddies. It is said they wasted no time getting up to their old tricks.
Nomu slipped a noose again. That half-mastered bastard be three ways mad and twice that a killer. Eeyore'd be better off shot of him.
You seem familiar, friend.
Aboko shuffles through his notes before shrugging and giving up.
Prison is too kind for a pirate. So there is a bounty on Nomu's head. He and his ilk fled to the wilderness north of Neketaka.
Okay, so he's close at least. Alright, I will return with his head. Farewell. Man, that guy's going to town on that piano. Look at that. Doesn't quite match the beat of the music in
Hail
the background.
and welcome to the Wild Mare, friend.
This guy looks nice. Gintel. A jovial man at the bar grins and motions you closer. His arms are corded with thick muscle and cross-hatched with scars.
Now, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for more intimate entertainment? No. They do give you special buffs, or at least they did in the first game, so it's worth checking them out, especially for skill checks and stuff, but I don't need anything right now. Show me what you have for sale.
You see anything you like? You let me know.
Let's go ahead and rest. Private dance room lasts for 1 rest, +1 casts with level 1 spells, and +1 to all skills. That's actually sounds pretty good. Let's talk to him again and see what his
Now, you see any?
what he has for. Nope, nothing. He didn't have anything good for sale, like
Where in the
equipment
blazes
wise.
is that old man?
Who is this Khan? A young woman lingers near the stage with a mug of ale clutched tight in her hands. She shows no interest in the dancers. The bags beneath her eyes speak to many long nights spent drinking in the tavern. She looks lazily about the room until her gaze lights on you with interest.
Have you seen an old elf hanging around here lately? Dresses funny, probably drunker than an eel in a barrel of mead.
Excuse me. No, I can't say I have.
Andra's crushing void. I thought as much.
She sighs heavily and pinches the bridge of her nose. What does that mean? That's the second person who's done that. Pinches the bridge of their nose.
Listen, the guy I'm looking for owes me a lot of money. 5,000 coppers. You help me find him, and I'll give you 20%.
Who owes you the money?
The drunk old goat I was pestering you about, Oswald. Like the credulous fool I am, I gave him a loan, and he ran off before paying me back.
Alright, deal.
I can't thank you enough. No one's been willing to so much as tell me the date until you came along. The man I'm looking for, Oswald, was especially fond of one of the courtesans upstairs, Analis.
Analis.
Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me, the snippy little cur.
Have you tried being nice?
She wasn't receptive to my particular charms. Let's see you do better. Maybe you can get more out of her than I can.
Alright, I will go talk to Analis. The courtesan. It's a good name for a courtesan. Any locks? Nope. That would be stealing, so I can't take it from him. Let's take this. Beer and oil. Oil's good for cooking, I believe. This guy will leave if we give him a second. Dancer, cook. Let's wait here, let him leave, and then we'll steal this stuff. Actually, you know what? I don't need any of that. Let's go to the Wild Mare upper floor. Don't let me forget to talk to the wealthy gentleman. He doesn't have a normal commoner name, so maybe he'll have something for us. Plus, he's wealthy. He deserves our attention. Oh, someone stuffed something behind the pillows. What is it? Huana Charm Belt. I think we actually already had one of those that we sold. Ymir. I'm pretty sure these are all the courtesans.
See something you like?
No. The dancer turns to greet you, a coy smile tugging at his lips. He's short for an elf, but no less graceful for his lacking height. His long face and dark eyes lend him a solemn air, but any hint of gloom is chased away by the wash of color in his cheeks.
Aloth, this is the last place I expected to see you. Have your interests changed so much since our time at Bragon Hill?
A grin lights up Ymir's face. He fidgets with his hair self-consciously, smoothing it down where it's been mussed.
No, I still enjoy tile puzzles and deflecting personal questions. Anyway, what are you doing here?
He looks halfway as though he's trying to ignore Ymir's eager gaze. Hands on his hips, Seraphim grins. Adair points affably in approval. It looks like these two were boyfriend sometime before. Zodi's eyes gleam with dark amusement.
I could ask the same of you.
He laughs lightly, a hand over his mouth.
I make my own hours, meet fascinating people, and the coin's nothing to sneer at. Better than stuffy old books and unflattering robes.
He casts a critical eye over Aloth's outfit. He opens his mouth to speak, but decides the better of it. This is amazing. Yep.
It's good to see you again, Aloth. Anyway, I should get back to it.
He smiles warmly at Aloth.
Well.
He smiles warmly at Aloth, blush coloring the tips of his ears. The faint trace of a smile forms on Adair's lips. Seraphim snickers quietly and thoughtful as Zodi rubs a knuckle along the edge of her jaw.
It was lovely seeing you.
He catches himself looking panicked.
Perhaps lovely is too strong a word. I meant pleasant. Perfectly agreeable.
He looks at you, chagrined.
I can see where I may have confused the poor fellow in our academy days. 'Twas a right fierce labour getting the lad to finger any flesh that weren't covering his spelly books.
That's gross, Izumir.
Did you enjoy the show? There's more to see, if you're interested, till later then.
No, thank you.
If you told me a few years ago that I'd end up following you on another crazy errand, I'd have said you were out of your mind.
He gives you a dismissive gesture with his pipe hand.
Not because I got anything against you, more that trouble seems to come looking for you wherever you go.
Adair, you were my most trustworthy companion. You should follow me anywhere, is what you should say.
Yet, here
or
we
you
are
would follow
again,
me anywhere.
Probably on our way to die. Well, you already did, but me, I mean.
He cocks his head to one side and smiles. I couldn't go having all the fun by myself.
All real nice of you to share. Someday I'll have to get you a gift. And wouldn't you know it, this time is shaping up to be crazier than the last one.
There is something accusatory behind Adair's eyes.
But I gotta say, I appreciate how you've handled things. Times like these, staying decent's not as easy as it sounds. Thought you were weird at first, of course, but you've surprised me.
Decent, wasn't that on purpose? No. It hasn't always been easy, honest.
Well, that's why I mention it. Sometimes it's been anything but. I've been meaning to ask, though. How is it you never seem to lose your way through all this?
It's almost like I have an unseen hand guiding my every move.
What is it tells you you're on the right path?
I believe in helping people who need it. Sometimes it's more complicated, but often it's not.
Well, hard to argue with that. And I might get some strange looks if it did.
That's exactly how you are, Adair, so... Adair heaves a sigh that sounds as if it's been building up for months. His smile is tight-lipped, wistful.
When I was a boy, things were simpler. Aethys was more like a character we read about in church.
Easier to worship a god when their worst traits are swept under a rug. The rug.
Yeah, I guess it was.
He worshipped Aethys, if I haven't gone over that.
Well, most stories had him helping folks or making the world work as it should.
And he also doesn't like it when you put out Aethys' candles. There's a candle in the beginning, if you put out, he doesn't particularly like that. He doesn't go off on you too much, but you can tell he's annoyed. He adopts the smile and gently pointed... He adopts the smile and gently pointed finger of a coaxing parent. Oh, okay.
You pray to him. He might help you, too.
He lets the finger drop and the smile fade.
There was no cost to it. No confusion about his will or followers taken into extremes. Following Aethys was right. Had no reason to question.
He pauses. It could be the light, but the creases around his eyes and mouth seem longer and deeper than your memory of them.
Do you think there's any way that following him could still be the right path? After all we've seen?
Of course, even Bareth wants us to follow him. No, it's possible if the cause is just.
This better be some cause for all the damage he's done. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to get depressing. I think this was just a long way of saying I appreciate the way you've guided things. Makes me feel like I'm doing some good, going with you.
He shakes his head with a look on his face like he just remembered a joke. Wait, I need to steal these books. That's 3 gold right there. Let's close the door. And then steal what's ever in here. Oswald's journal. This is what we were looking for. Gadandag. This afternoon, I walked the streets of Nekataka and felt an unusual spring in my step. I cannot be sure if it is the fine weather of the archipelago or my great distance from the deerwood and the blasted Goose and Fox Inn that has gifted me this buoyancy of spirit. But I am grateful nonetheless. I see no sign of the girl, Hylia be praised. God's willing I have slipped her net at last. McQuinn's dog. The shadows are strange here, seeming to move of their own accord, as I passed from the Queen's Berth to Pariki's Overlook this morning. I could have sworn I saw one turn to face me, then another. I fled the area as quickly as I could, and as far as I can tell, I was not followed. I have many enemies, and as any man of a roguish adventurous mien should. Okay, I have many enemies, as any man of a roguish adventurous mien should, though none have cause to search for me here. I know these shadows must be but a trick of the mind, but still I am uneasy. The next entry is written in a shaky, wild hand, clearly penned in great haste. Ritlin Linsgedag. As I put me down to bed this evening, I heard a faint whispering beneath my window. I always leave it open to better catch the breeze, and thanks be to Hylia for it, or I might have been none the wiser. However, when I went to investigate, no one was there, and yet I know I heard voices. I may be old, perhaps even paranoid, but I am not crazy. I must leave this place with all haste. Gods protect me in my flight. On the next and final page of the journal is the symbol of Wodoka, a broken crown scrawled in deep red ink. I don't know what any of that means, really. I mean, I know it means he's not here anymore, but... There's Analus. Rabiuna. What the hell is that? That is a weird-looking godless. Oh, he's a fire godlike. A fire godlike woman polishes a pair of stocks, tending to them with the fondness of a mother for her favorite child. The room is dim, illuminated only by the glow of her steel-forged skin. Her eyes burn with the light of Magran's fire. When she hears you enter, she shoots you a look of utter contempt.
I will give you an experience you won't soon forget.
Tell me about yourself.
I must assume the question beneath your question is how a fire godlike came to find herself in a place such as this.
She leans back against a wall of chains. They clank and rattle, and she smiles at the sound.
Perseverance. Being as I am, I have been forced to find it for myself. Now I teach it to others. To live in a world as a thinking, feeling creature, it is difficult. It demands strength.
I just noticed she is probably a torturous courtesan. She's got a bunch of torture things up here.
But we cannot always be strong. I help those who have lost their strength to find it again.
She wraps a chain around her arm and tugs. The steel links glow red with forge fire where they touch her skin. I don't think that I want to pay to be tortured.
300 copper. I know it's a bit more than most, but my service is like nothing you will find anywhere else in Nekataka.
No, thank you. I don't want to be tortured. Constantin. A burly dwarven man hums a jaunty tune to himself as he fastidiously organizes his collection of scented oils. When he hears you enter the room, he greets you with a smile and a humongous outstretched hand. His grip is strong and sure.
Come to seek ablutions for your sins?
Ablutions? He slaps his knee with a bark of laughter.
Get it? Ablutions? Absolution?
I don't know what ablutions are.
Up. Gets me every time.
He wipes a tear from his eye, still chuckling.
Massage? Bath? Whatever you need.
No thank you. I wonder what Analus's, her speciality is. A young woman reclines on the cushions, a hookah hose held delicately in one hand. Eyes closed, she sings to herself. Her voice is soft and inviting. She doesn't move when she hears you approach, but slowly opens her eyes with a lazy smile.
Come, lay your head on my breast. I will read to you the work of my favorite poet, Skilba.
How much for your time?
100 copper pans, a reasonable fee to experience the sublime words of Adir's greatest poets. Don't you think? Come, lay your head on my breast.
Stop saying that. Tell me about yourself.
It's futile to attempt to summarize the whole of a person in simple words. How to capture their dreams, the desires of another, their feel and taste.
I just wanted to know where you're from.
But I appreciate your curiosity nonetheless. I am an actor. Trained from childhood. Difficult for you to believe, I'm sure.
A teasing smile pulls at the corner of her lips. Her voice is wistful, almost melancholic.
My troupe were my family, and we traveled the whole of the Adir Empire, performing the classic literatures to cheering audiences.
It sounds like a pleasant life.
The work was good when the crowds were grateful, and their pockets swelled with coin.
She gives you a pained smile and looks away. Seraphin strokes his braided beard beneath a quiet smirk, and Shoti lifts her chin in interest.
I found a more dependable application of my talents here. To touch the hearts of others with my voice. I could not give that up. Have you come to hear some verse?
What is your problem with Khan?
Oh, her. Yes, she is persistent, isn't she? She barged in and began asking me all sorts of inappropriate questions about my customers. She grew incensed when I asked her to leave, She's no longer welcome in my room.
Analyst wrings her hands and looks away. Her gaze settles on her armoire in the corner.
I do hope she's not a friend of yours. Her manners are atrocious.
Khan's looking for someone named Oswald. Sound familiar?
I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about. Now please leave.
She gestures toward her door and makes a shooing sound. What if he's in danger? Don't you care about his well-being? It's clear you care quite a bit for him. Let me help. What is that? Insight? Let's do diplomacy. What if he's in danger? Don't you care about his well-being?
If I knew a man named Oswald, and if that man was in danger, I would still decline to be involved. Now, is there something else I can do for you?
Khan's looking for someone named Oswald.
I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about. Now please leave.
It's clear you care quite a bit for him. Let me help. She chews on a knuckle, brow furrowed, deciding whether she should trust you. Then she sighs heavily and gives you a sheepish smile.
Oswald has visited oft of late. He's a sentimental old man, and he longs for the words of our homeland, Adir. I would often read the old epics to him in their original Eldadiran.
Her eyes gain a distant, unfocused look, and a wistful smile spreads across her face.
He's grown paranoid recently, however, always muttering about the shadows following him and other such nonsense. It was quite unnerving, frankly. He came to me in a panic a few days ago and shoved his journal into my hands. He told me he'd be back for it, but I've not seen hide nor hair of him since. I wonder, perhaps his journal would help you find him. Here, take this key. You'll find the journal in my armoire.
Well, thank you, I guess. What is this? We have private dance. Oh, that's from resting. Alright, let's level up. I want to see what we get. Mechanics, yes. Always mechanics. And then diplomacy. Alright. We have ranger or rogue. Wait, I can't. For some reason I can't click on rogue. So let's go ahead and check these out. Revive companion, no thank you. Evasive roll. Gives you quick for 10 seconds. +5 dexterity. The ranger quickly dives to a safe distance and gains quick inspiration. This ability does not cause recovery. So if someone's next to me, I use this, get away. And I also get +5 dexterity for, what, 10 seconds? So 2 rounds about. Accurate wounding shot. The ranger aims for a spot that will leave a trail to track, inflicting raw damage over time to the target. Sorry. The ranger's aim becomes far more accurate. Oh, bonus accuracy 20. This one doesn't give any bonus accuracy? Really? Hobbling shot. If successful, hobbled for 10 seconds. Hobbled is cannot run and -5 dexterity. I don't like that. Marked for the hunt. Upgraded from marked prey. Let's see. Marked for the hunt. If the prey is killed, the mark will jump to a nearby enemy. That's actually kind of nice. But I need this because I keep getting caught, remember? Are any of these something we need? Defensive bond, +10 to all defenses against area of effect attacks? No. 10 fortitude, reflex, +50% damage. What is this? Heightens the predatory instincts of the ranger's animal companion, giving them a damage bonus on any creature suffering a damage over time effect. So, I wounding shot them, and then my pet does more damage. But I don't want that right now. Concentration or will? Nope. We are going to stick with evasive roll. For some reason, I can't... Oh, because I get a new ability for ranger and rogue. So I get a new one for each. Got it. Alright, we got Ringrim's Repulsive Visage. Combat only. Foe AoE sickened. -5 Constitution and Healing. -25% healing received. And Terrified. -5 Resolve, so minus some deflection. And -3 to all power levels. That's pretty good. Alright. Arterial Strike. Crippling Strike. Affected enemies will now also bleed when moving, taking raw damage with each step. That would be nice. I don't know that I can get them to move reliably, though. Debilitating Strike. Successful hits now also distract the target. What is distracted? -5 accuracy, and they are flanked. That's pretty good. Smoke Veil. What is this? Pernicious Cloud. Almost kind of turns him into a little alchemist there with the Smoke Veil upgrades. I don't want to go into him too much because I don't want to spoil the new upgrades. Alright, strike the bell. The rogue strikes their target violently in the head, interrupting them. The bonus effects of this attack vary based on the type of weapon used. Ranged, bonus to penetration. That's good. Two-handed, staggered, or one-handed raw damage over time. Range, it's only +3 penetration, but it does have a +25% bonus damage, and we are going to want the next ones. So, what does this do? Repost? No, we can't use that because we are ranged. Deep pockets? No. Deep pockets is extra weapons. 2 quick item slots. That's right. Finishing blow. A full attack, self plus 50% damage, plus 50% damage by percentage of the target's lost health. The rogue looks to finish off an injured opponent with a precise, deadly strike that increases in damage the more health the target is missing. Let's actually increase blinding strike this time around, though. While blinded, all attacks on the target add a stacking penalty to deflection. That's pretty good. Gouging strike. Gouge enemies, causing raw damage over time until combat ends. Which one would be better, do you think? Basically extra accuracy or raw damage over time? I'm gonna go... I can already do raw damage over time. I don't know if they stack either. But I also want I want to be able to lower their deflection if I can. So we're gonna go with Confounding Blind. Alright, now... Who else leveled? Adair. It's hiding in his hair again. We have athletics, and streetwise. Alright. We have charge. This is what I wanted Into the Fray to be. The fighter dashes across the battlefield in a flash, stunning anyone caught in their path. That's actually pretty good. This is also really good. Vigorous defense, plus 20 to all defenses, and concentration. What's concentration? Okay, yeah, just less likely to be interrupted. Lower their guard. This is for Into the Fray. The enemy's armor rating significantly reduced for the next attack they receive. So, minus 10 armor rating for the next attack. Out of Fire. Allows the fighter to pull allies to safety if they choose. Doing so will not harm the ally. That's kind of nice. But he's going to be in danger all the time, so... We don't need Quick Switch. We don't need Unstoppable, Body Control, Tumbling. What is this? Weapon Specialization. Nope, he's not a damage dealer, but Weapon Specialization would give me plus 10% damage with proficient weapons, so... Let's go ahead and do Charge. That's what I want for now. I will eventually have to get Vigorous Defense, too. Oh, I get 2. Let's go Vigorous Defense for the... Or wait, hold on. What is this one? Aware Inspiration is now improved to the Intuitive Inspiration. That's right. Before we get Vigorous Defense, let's grab this to make our Disciplined Barrage better. It will upgrade Acute, or Aware, which is... plus 5 perception, basically more chances to crit. 25% of my hits will be converted to crits. You know what? That's actually not very useful right now. We'll get that later, but for now we're gonna get Vigorous Defense. I changed my mind. It's more useful that he survives than crits all the time. Don't quote me on that. Mephisto. Assume the position. No, oh god. You want to die, sir? That's because that's how you die. The Queen's Birth. I actually have to go back in and talk to Khan. I should have went down the stairs. Now I'm going to have 2 loading screens. Awesome. Holy cow, did we seriously spend 30 minutes in there? That cannot be true.
I heard you and Isilmir again. I do wish you would stop encouraging her.
Real sorry, Aloth. We'll keep it down.
You think I care about your childish jokes? What bothers me is how she dog-ears my grimoire. And you keep bringing her out.
Just looking to lighten the mood, I guess.
I prefer Aloth to Isilmir, but she is funny when her and Adair get going. Alright, we need to talk to Khan to get more information on what to do with Oswald.
Have you got any leads on that mad old goat yet?
What is your history with Oswald? She groans theatrically like she can't bear to recount the tale.
The man's a family friend. Has been for... must be 4 generations now. The perk of being an elf, eh?
Alright, here's the journal. Khan flips through Oswald's journal, then stops and looks up at you, eyes wide. Someone has hastily scrawled the broken crown symbol of Wotica across the last page. Khan mutters to herself. She traces the symbol with her finger and frowns. She knows something.
Oh, Oswald, you've really stepped in it now, haven't you? Getting mixed up with Woodikins? You damned old fool.
She shakes her head sadly and closes the journal with a snap.
Where could they have taken him?
She chews on her lower lip with uneven teeth and mutters to herself. You must have sailed through half the Deadfire to get to Negataka. Anything catch your eye?
Not really. To be honest, I spent most of the trip out from Defiance Bay, bent over the bulwark, giving Andra a taste of my innards. I hate boats.
You and me both. I don't actually hate boats. Khan laughs a little, mostly to herself. She seems to only half hear you, her thoughts wandering elsewhere. Adair seems pleased, and Seraphim snickers, and Shodi's eyes gleam with a dark amusement.
Damn, if only I could find that captain who gave us passage to the Deadfire. Bet he'd know. Wait a tick.
She blinks, remembering.
When our ship neared Negataka, the bosun told me about a weird temple on an island in the Karatapu Channel, southwest of the city. She wouldn't tell me what it was for, though. Got real spooked when I asked.
Seems a good as place as any to start.
Go take a look then, and let me know what you find.
Alrighty.
With any luck, you'll catch the old goat there
2
in
more
one
levels,
piece,
awesome.
and we'll both leave here with some weight in our purse.
Pretty sure he spent it by now. He literally spent like every night with Analyst, from the sounds of it. Alright, stealth and metaphysics. What do we want you to do? What is this? Wild sprint. Nimble for 6 seconds and immune to engagement. Nimble is plus 5 dexterity and gives you double running speed. 1 stands alone. Plus 20% melee. Okay. The barbarian makes a courageous stand against all attackers. Grants a melee damage bonus when the barbarian is near 2 or more enemies, and the barbarian requires an additional threatening enemy to become flanked. So if he's next to 2 enemies, he gets plus 20% melee damage. It's pretty decent. Bloody Slaughter. 20% of hits converted to crits with weapons against 25% health or lower targets. 50% crit damage with weapons. Crit damage on the same targets. Okay. I don't really like that because when they're down that low, I can usually finish them off with a spell or something. Bloodlust. Self per kill, on kill, plus 20% action speed. So it's hard to get the last hit on things like on purpose, if that makes any sense. Let's go to... Nope, he gets one for both. So let's go ahead and get Barbaric Yell, because that's going to upgrade into a bunch of stuff later. Ecto-Psychic Echo. Ecto-Psychic Echo. Generates a rebounding wave of psychic feedback between the Cypher and an ally that causes crush damage. It's basically like Antipathetic Field, but you put it on an ally, not an enemy. Secret Horrors. No, we don't need that because we're a barbarian. Soul Ignition. 16 damage per 3 seconds for 15 seconds. Not bad. Fractured Volition. Hobbled and weakened for 20 seconds. No, I don't need that. Puppet Master. Foe target dominated. That might be nice. Pain Link. Allied target. 25% of damage taken is dealt to attackers for 15 seconds. It would be good, but 25% damage isn't really that much, and I would be casting it on Adair, who his whole thing is to try to avoid taking damage, so I'm not going to use it. Let's go ahead and do Puppet Master, I think, for the times where I need to punch up. Invokes a retaliatory strike, stunning an enemy whenever they target the Cypher's will defense. I've never used that. That was in the first game too. Plus 1 penetration with weapons. That's pretty good. Oh crap, that's right. I need to grab these things, so I can't get this yet. Bears Fortitude, Reflex, Concentration. The Cypher is able to use the Echoes of Time to drive home strikes from their weapons, increasing their penetration. That eventually will be good. Penetration on spells. Not as good in my opinion, but still. Alright. Which one do we want? The Cypher's Soul Whip bites deeper, granting a greater bonus to damage. So, gets a 10% bonus to damage or a 100% focus gain. Let's go 10% damage for now, because we really don't have the focus abilities yet to take advantage of the focus gain. Just this, which I can cast from the beginning. This will be a lot useful in a few levels. A lot more useful in a few levels. That's what we want. Thank you. Who else has got a level? Shodi and Aloth. Okay. We're going to take Arcana and Religion. Nice outfit. I'm glad I put that on you. She gets Circle of Protection, plus 15 to all defenses to everyone in a decent-sized circle. I like using that right at the beginning of battles. Shining Beacon, I also really like this. In the beginning, I think it did a lot more damage, but foe AoE, minus 10 to all defenses, and then 16 burn damage per 3 seconds. Excuse me. Triumph of the Crusader, it gives an AoE per kill on kill, so heals you for 80, I think in an AoE, but it's pretty small, 1.5. Imparts to allies the fervor of righteousness in battle, granting them the strong inspiration. When any ally in the area of effect delivers a killing blow, he or she regains health. So no, it's not an AoE heal, it's just a self heal. Litany of the Body, hardy for 60 seconds, plus 2 armor, and plus 5 constitution, not bad. How long? 60 seconds, that's actually quite a bit. Is it only on one person? Yeah, it grants a single target. Devotions of the Faithful, I love this one. Plus 10 accuracy for you, minus 10 accuracy for the enemy. Plus 4 might to you, minus 4 might to the enemy. I am almost certainly going to grab that. Divine Terror, we don't need that. It's AoE frightened, but we have a Barbarian, so we should be okay. Allows this caster to shape area of effect spells, modifying their area and power level. While casting targeted area of effect spells, gain the ability to increase or decrease the size of the area at the cost or benefit of power level. Huh. So if you make it smaller, it increases the power level. If you make it bigger, it lowers it. Plus 1 penetration with fire attacks. This actually might be pretty good, because I can finagle it, because I have the intuitive controls on, so I can see exactly where I'm targeting. Plus 1 penetration with decay and acid attacks. No thanks. Alright, definitely getting Devotions of the Faithful. Alright, we get 2. And let's do Shining Beacon for the times I need to do damage. Alright, Aloth, give us a good spell this time. I know you're a fighter wizard, but I want good spells. Gosh, we really aren't using his fighter at all. Kind of a waste, but that's okay. Okay, we get 1 to both fighter and wizard. That's good. I don't need that because he shouldn't be getting hit. Penetrating strikes. Fighter stances. You know what? I'm going to wait to level him up next time. I'm going to look up if his fighter stances actually affect him. So, how do I cancel out of here? Cancel. Minus. Alright, well, I will do that in between episodes. Jesus, 40 minutes. Alright. So, that's where we're going to leave it for today. So, please leave a like or comment below, and feel free to subscribe for more full Let's Plays like this one. Hopefully, we make a little bit more progress in the next episode. So, thanks for stopping by.